And welcome back. We're picking where we left off last time in the Long Dark, where we're on a quest to explore the Pleasant Valley radio bunker for the... the tail's name is. We'll check it in a moment. Signal Void quest. So we got investigate the signal in Pleasant Valley, and then we complete that. We're going to have another signal that we need to investigate back out in Forsaken Airfield, which is where we'll go to next. But first, we need to pass enough time for the Aurora to arrive. I have ideas on what to do while we do that, so we're not going to be sitting here doing nothing. So I have... Oh, I forgot to leave the scrap metal behind. Whoops. Meant to leave that behind. I have an arrow head. Don't have... I thought I had the shaft to go with that head. That's why I came down to the bunker, came down into the basement here. I might have the stuff to make it anyway, so let's check. Depends on if I've got feathers or not up here. Okay, so I think
I'm not sure
if we're short anything, it's we're short the... short the feathers. Yeah, if we're short anything, we're short the feathers. I do not see any feathers, so I think we are short the feathers. Are there any human corpses nearby? I don't think so. Okay, so that's not what we're working on because we don't have what we need for it. We do have... How long does it take to craft a bow? Probably more time than I want to spend. Six and a half hours? Yeah, that's a little bit more time than I want to spend. I'd rather spend it sleeping right now, so we got the energy to get out to where we're going. It is a project I think is worth doing. It's just not one we got enough time to do. Okay, I'm going to guess that we got at least 4 hours before we're too deep in the Aurora, so we can get where we're going. Okay, so it's not an Aurora yet, but I think it's technically because it's still dusk. Should have a Aurora tonight. Yeah. So it's still dusk, so it's still a little too early for the Aurora. You can kind of hear that wobble, so we're getting real close. Yeah, so I don't think it's technically fully swapped. We don't have those telling us that the bunker's nearby. But we'll take advantage of the transition being... Transition to Aurora is usually fairly safe. So we'll start walking our way out there while we got the weather transition going in. Do I have any stones? I do. Grab a few extra. So other than the fact that this is working, I don't think we're fully in an Aurora yet. Because we had worked out it somewhere over here from before the Aurora ended last time. This is where we lost the signal from before. That's the thing showing up from the branch. Yeah, we can tell it's not so up to an Aurora because the rabbits is still out. Hasn't finished swapping yet because we got rabbits. Whoops. Missed them. Shot long, oh. I'm apparently out of practice shooting rabbits. Yeah, I'm really out of practice shooting rabbits.
I need to find some place to escape this cold.
Oop, there it goes. It's wartime. It's that way. Yeah, we'll warm up by getting in the bunker instead of cooking rabbits. We're on the trail of the signal. I think the signal is where we're going. It's the only signal nearby. It's the bunker one. Not sure where the cache, where caches may be.
Die if I don't warm up soon.
It's down here. No, it's the other side of this. We are a bit cold, so we're taking a little bit of damage, but as long as you don't run into like a wolf, we can stomach this damage for like the whole in-game hour. So we're in a rush to get where we're going. We're just not in a really big rush. Again, much like the Hush River Valley one, I spoiled where it should be. In this case, I knew the rough area in the map, but I did not actually spoil exactly where it was, so I wasn't able to get right on top of it. There we go. I'll do a little bit of exploration near the end, but... Oh, I suppose we'd mostly found the way over here. The last Aurora, when we just barely missed it last time. Flare, not a particularly great find, but it's a find. Aloo. Machinery. A battery. Oh, if only we'd found this earlier. This would have been useful for doing,
Session 12, Project Medical Officer interviewing Patient 7. Back to the third instance. Find the bridge between them.
Trying to. Okay. It starts the same as every other time. A dark room. Square. I feel the wall behind me, and I can barely make out the walls to the right and left. Smooth, like steel or glass. I can't see the wall opposite me. It's too dim. I walk forward, and that's when I notice it. Every time. The pit. Just a hole in the floor. Really, it's funny. The floor seems to slope a little bit as it reaches the edge. But the floor is made of bricks. Bricks that start to bend. Best I can tell.
And the end? The last image you can remember?
That's when it shows up.
What shows up? Can you describe it?
From across the pit, where the other wall should be, something darker than everything around it, sort of floating. It moves to the edge of the hole. No face, just a moving shape. A shadow. Is it me? My face? God damn it. Man, that's when I wake up. Every damn time.
Okay, they're instilling a little bit of horror game vibes here. fuse there, a wire there, neither which we need at this point. The battery is a little bit interesting, because we do have uses for batteries. It's not immediately where to come for one, though. Here's the living compartment with the security log. The canned corn. I know the security log is what we're here for the quest-wise, but we're going to check the last loot before I turn the lantern off. It's a bolt. But I thought the bolt for a moment was like a potato hiding behind the liner there, and no, it's a bolt. Okay, I think that's all the loot down here. Well, unless I want to loot the water. We're not that desperate for water.
We ran power to Rudiger's machine for the first time yesterday. It was nothing like what they predicted, even at half energy. I still have no idea what the endgame for all of this will be. The whole project. And I'm seeing now that few of the men building it do either. It's all over their faces. All this time underground isn't helping their morale, but I'm confident our fragile truce will hold until we're finished. We worked hard to make it this far after what happened to Team 3. But afterwards? Impossible to say.
After what happened to Team 3? What happened to Team 3? Questions I will probably not get answers to. Well, that's what we found down here. Now, I would be rewarded if I could achieve getting all the way back there in time. Getting back to the community center, because the community center has a radio set which we could call Sutherland. So we'll see if we can get back there without running into too many wolves. And before the Aurora ends. It's not the end of the world if we don't. Auroras eventually happen, and we just need to be near a radio set when one happens to call Sutherland up. We got from here to there with only running into one wolf. The wolf didn't see us, so it didn't delay us. So maybe we can do the opposite pretty easily as well. Are we overweight? No, we're not overweight. Okay, so we're making full speed on our traveling right now. Yeah, if we get back to the radio set, call up Sutherland. Well, I suppose technically we're calling up Sutherland to tell Sutherland we have completed the trade. So it's a bit of a boring call. And then we can go down to Coastal Highway where we started the last episode and collect the trade. And then it's out to Brazilian Airfield. We don't freeze our butt on the way out there. Well, even if we freeze our butt on the way out there, it's out to Brazilian Airfield. For the last one. And then what? I think the next tail is in the... Is it the pit? In the
Never been so hungry. in my
ruined
life.
mine area. A little bit of wolves. Between me and the farmstead where I'm trying to go. Okay. Gonna delay us a little bit. Oh, apparently not delaying us very much.
Cold is making my head feel thick.
Okay, I got stuff I want to leave here. Mainly the toolbox. So I can drop some of the flares as well. Save some weight that way. Need a couple cattails. I'm a little worried on the calorie standpoint. Probably shouldn't be, because we probably have plenty of calories to get to the camp office. And the place beyond the camp office, but... So I'm gonna take a little bit of cold damage here, because I want to get to the camp office. Not the camp office, the community center. I want to get to the community center
Fingers feel numb.
before the roar ends, if possible. Which is a little bit of a hike. Not undoable, but it's a little bit of a hike. And if we're going to do that hike, we need to up to it. We can't take the time to warm up. Oh, that's a ptarmigan. I'm like, rabbits out in the aurora? I guess that the ptarmigans are not despawned by the aurora. They're not easy to spot, so I just spooked it before I noticed it was there, but I think that was a ptarmigan. Because rabbits don't take off. And near the end, that moving thing was flying. At least I think it was flying. So it makes sense if it was a ptarmigan. It doesn't make sense if it's a rabbit. Rabbits don't fly. Well, rabbits don't fly in this game. And I suppose once we've done the radio thing, we can use a match, start up a fire in the 6-burner stove, and make some porridge. So we're easily going to be able to get enough food to make it through the daytime, and then over to the meat pile on the way out to Coastal. Yeah, I suppose we're also about to heal 40 condition damage, so taking a little bit of cold damage here is not a problem. Not a problem. Making pretty good time. Traveling. I guess it must not be a windy aurora, right? So auroras are always clear weather. But there are basically two types of them. There's low wind, high wind. The high wind ones are always annoying. The low wind ones are kind of... They're auroras, so you have to be worried about the wildlife. But as you can see, if you know where you're going, the wildlife isn't that much of a problem. I'm not sure if it's well, it is a flyover, so we got crows flying overhead. There's also some crows over there, I think, they're circling. The confound Travelada.
All I can think about is food.
That's not all I can think about, but I get where he's coming from. On the emergency priority list, that's like 3 because we're carrying around food to cook. So we don't want to run out of food because we'd like to keep the well-fed bonus. We run out of calories in its stomach because we'd like to keep the well-fed bonus, but we're not worried about it because we know where it's going to come from. He's got it in his pockets. Wolf. First wolf we've run into the entire roar, and it's comfortably close to where I want to be going. Like it's been waiting for me. Okay, I think the detour we took care got us past the wolf without a problem.
Hey, what's the story? Got it. On my way.
Okay. And now if we try to interact with it, it'd say trader unavailable because he's en route. I think technically he becomes available again if we go, like, pick the loot up. So if you're doing this in Coastal Highway, you could tell him you're ready for the pickup, go pick it up, walk back to the controller, tell him that you're ready to do the next trade, and he would be willing to trade that short of turnaround. But that's not quite what we're doing today. We're just a little far away from the trade site. Don't think we're going to get that far on Leroy. Especially when we've got a character that needs to sleep and warm up. You make like a liter of water. We'll slap the pot down. Oh, that reminds me, I have only one pot. So you make water and you'll make some porridge. A little bit of prep time making the porridge. And there goes the Aurora. The Aurora has ended. I say we got like half the day, but half the night left. And then we quickly make up one more batch of porridge. And then we can let our characters sleep for the night. In the nice comfy bed here. Off we go, back to Coastal Highway. Got full condition, which is a great place to be for going out into the unknown. First, let's go prep the trader for trade good. We're going to be waiting for the next Aurora, of course, to get it. But there's a radio set out at the airfield, so if we're waiting out at the airfield for it, that's not the worst place to be, because we can wait for an appropriate Aurora time. With comboing with having to wait for the bunker search to begin. Take a little bit of a moment here to warm up as we eat the meat. It's not going to be a lot of warmth, and it arguably might not even be enough to warrant the cold that we're going to get from the detour, but we'll take the calories while we're here. Only one feather. Interesting. Usually there's more. Might find another one on the way out. That wouldn't surprise me. Keep the partial. We left behind last time. I think we need the full and then the partial. To get full calories anyway. Or are we going to leave a partial behind? Ooh, we are going to leave a partial behind because it's going to be the third one. Going to be partial. I'm going to leave, because I think this is what we're actually going to go pick up from the trade. I'm going to leave the full oats here. In fact, I could probably leave... we'll take it with us anyway. Probably leave the flour here as well. For similar reasons. I think the trade that we're going to go pick up is a oat and flour trade. 10 bags of flour, 10 bags of oat, or 10 containers of oats. Yes, when the time comes to push for 1,000 days, we will have fish, oats, and bannock for days. And days, and days, and days. But I'm going to try to do, before we're going just for the raw achievement of going up to 1,000 days. There's a 500-day achievement, and there's a 1,000-day achievement. I think 1,000 day specifically is don't use second chance. Or, no, don't use cheat death to avoid the permadeath effect. So if we can complete all the tails without dying, I'll probably have a montage video, and I'll probably stream it live as well, but probably a montage video of whatever's left in our dates out to 1,000, as I just try to pass the days as quickly as possible. Which will probably be some variation of gather a lot of fuel in the fishing hut on the coastline, and we'll literally spend days and days sleeping and fishing in the hut. Because why not? Because that's probably going to be the fastest way to pass time. It's spend it either fishing or sleeping or consuming oats and bannock and fish. If they got enough fish in that diet, then we don't have to worry about vitamin C. So it's just sit there and pass time, productively pass time. Why take risks of wandering around the game world when you've got 500 days worth of fuel and 500 days worth of fish and bannock and flour? But first, we're going to finish all the tails, of course, right? So, out to Forsaken Airfield. Yeah, out to Forsaken Airfield. Go find that bunker. I know there's the tails in the ruined... I forget the mine. I haven't been out to the mine office. In the mine. So we'll go out to the mine and hopefully not suffocate in the mine. And then there's one other area out in the far territory. I'm not sure if if there's a tail in... I think there's a tail in the mine. I'm not sure if there's a tail in the other area. The story, I suppose, may not have been released yet. I don't think we have the final part of the stuff made. We will take the firewood with us, and you know what? I won't take any of the coal, because we may find coal as we go. We probably also want to find coal, because I think we've been through here recently enough that most of it probably hasn't respawned yet. No, that's a torch I saw in the fog, I think. Please not a piece of coal. That's a torch. Yep, nothing on that wing. there's a piece of coal. But yeah, we don't really have a time requirement to get anywhere. Just not trying to waste time at the moment. So it's actually based on the time. I should go ahead and put a YouTube part break in. So we'll get through the cave here, and I'll do an exit enter to do a quick save. And that's we'll put the part break in. And looking at my teacup is empty, so it is time to go get more tea. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will be a part up tomorrow because we're gonna continue to record. We got stuff to do. We have plans. And the plans, well, and I try to record 5 parts a stream, so there'll be 3 more parts in the stream at least. Already decided the empty slot that was freed up by Never Second Rome. So if you've been watching Never Second Rome, I hope you've been enjoying it. But the time slot's been freed up by Never Second Rome being completed. I think I'm going to pull everything forward a couple days, and then we'll actually swap over to doing Shadow Empire. So if you're interested in Shadow Empire, there is a poll on the Reddit for deciding what sort of map to do next, if you're interested in that poll. So, as a side effect of that, the next Long Dark stream will, instead of being in 5 days, will be in 4 days, because I'm going to pull it forward one day. A couple of the streams will be affected. The Long Dark one is one of the ones that will be affected. Because I just wasn't able to get the poll up quickly enough. I wanted to give 5 days for the poll to be up. So, I hope everyone has been enjoying. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be a part up tomorrow. And probably the day after and the day after. You get the gist. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to go make a cup of tea, so that we will continue as soon as that cup of tea is brewed. And with that, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part. And bye for now.